Over the past 2.5 centuries, the world has gone through 4 technology-driven revolutions involving electricity and industry. First, Volta and Faraday pioneered the practical use of electricity. We call this electricity 1.0. Then in the early 1900s, mass electrification and electrical lighting became ubiquitous, bringing forth electricity 2.0. In the 1950s, silicon ushered the electricity 3.0 revolution with more automation and electronics. And now, electrification is meeting digitization and sustainability, and we call this electricity 4.0, and we believe this is the future to power the new electric world. Electricity 4.0 is made up of 3 parts. First, electrification makes energy green. 2, digitization to enable a smart future. And then 3, electrification plus digitization to make sustainability possible across all industries and all aspects of life. Our mission at Schneider Electric is to be your digital partner in sustainability and efficiency. It's a hot topic in every company. How can we achieve carbon and customer and corporate efficiency goals in one? The answer, I believe, lies in partnerships with our design offices. Design offices will play an instrumental role in helping industry make necessary changes to survive and thrive in Electricity 4.0 new electric world. Hello, everyone. I would like to personally welcome you to Let's Exchange Innovation Talk series. I'm Shanadeep Modak, Chief Marketing Officer of Energy Management at Schneider Electric. Today, I'm excited to host a panel of deep experts in the design world. We'll talk about digital ecosystems, how we can partner together efficiently and effectively to deliver great impact in the new electric world. Let me now give a warm welcome and introduce our panelists. First, we have Lars Kannenberg, Associate leading the MEP team from Arup, joining from Singapore. Then we have Eugene Sia, Managing Director at Cerbana Technologies. And then we have Rohan Kelkar, EVP Power Products at Schneider Electric. It's also a great privilege to have a live audience, which is all of you joining us from LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. We are also live on Schneider Electric Exchange, which is our partner community platform for the very first time. And I really want today's innovation talk to be interactive. So at any time, drop your questions and comments in the chat. We have a great team of subject matter experts standing by to answer your questions throughout the session. So let's test it out. I want to call on all of you. Please light up the chat. I want to hear the names and read the names. Announce yourself, your company, and your city. Okay? Cool? All right, let's get started. So I'm going to go to Lars first. Lars, a lot of change between Electricity 3.0 and now 4.0 has occurred. How have you navigated the changes brought on by digitization at Arup?
Thank you, Shanadeep, and thank you for inviting me to attend this talk. It's quite exciting. Well, when I started my engineering work in Stockholm in 1986, we really had one common PC to share with us, and had about 40 megabyte of hard drive, and WordPerfect was the only software really that we could use, writing letter specification, etc. Those days, AutoCAD was only on large VAX computers and not really available for small engineering firms. And I say the technical excellence in a company was only as good as the engineers working there. And we've definitely come a long way since then. It's an amazing journey. I'm glad that I have embraced all this technology that digitization has brought. And without digitization, I don't know where we would have been today. In Arup, our clients expect quite a lot from us. They want us to deliver not just the bulk standard design. Our clients expect innovative design and sustainable solutions, and expect us to be able to visualize these solutions immediately. The new tools have made the design more real instead of 2D, where sections and elevations have to be drawn exclusively for every area. We now deliver 3D model presenting all details of the building and the actual equipment used with exact sizes shown. It's an amazing development, actually. Our clients, they're getting assured that design can be built not just to budget and specification, but also in regards to more important things like maintenance requirements, the replacement of equipment, and spare capacity for future requirements, etc. All of these aspects can be delivered at the same time. And with partners such as Schneider, who has made cloud-based BIM tools available, which can be used and design more exact. We can remove at least reduce the uncertainty of space requirements, etc. But I must say, it's not always been like this working with Schneider. It's been quite challenging from time to time. I remember when you started about 15 years ago, when I started working with you for the first time, when you started buying up all these different companies around, and your sales reps, they didn't really know any of details of the equipment, or most of the time, it took very long time to get information back on sizing, capacities, and prices, etc. And these times were quite frustrating from time to time, to say the least. However, clearly lots of water has passed under the bridges in 15 years, and now I see the level of support that we actually have got from you, and the speed of getting answers from you nowadays is quite amazing. So I really appreciate the value and the collaboration in the new electric world.
Great, Lars. I'm so glad that things have gotten better, as well as I can imagine how things have changed in the last 15 years, from a 40 gigabyte hard drive being a big thing, and WordPerfect. So
40 megabyte.
Megabyte. Well, Rohan, I was adding it up. I can't believe we've known each other for 10 years. That makes me feel old, first of all. But at the same time, I've also observed that you've worked very closely with design offices. What would be your challenges, and how does Schneider partner with design offices?
Thanks, Shanadeep. It has been 10 years. I was thinking about that too. And both of us came from the power industry, so we're pretty familiar. A lot has changed in the last 15 years. And I see three major trends that are going to impact us over the next 10. The first is the new energy landscape. So it's transformed by Electricity 4.0. The cost of renewable energy power generation has come down exponentially, as we all know, over the last 10 years. This is challenging the decades-old power distribution one lines that we are all familiar with. And we will see technologies like microgrids, battery storage, EV charging becoming increasingly affordable, and also, as a result, commonplace. The second trend is digitization, and we hear that a lot. But as Lars said, part of it is moving us from a paper-based design to BIM technology, which is already here. In addition, as we all know, we can see a smart device today that can give you access to information at any time, anywhere. And then the third piece is advanced sensing and computing technologies, which can help you now trend, diagnose, and predict versus your traditional, I call it, postmortem models. The third one, which we're seeing really take traction now, is I call it awareness and action, which is across the globe, there is a sense of responsibility towards our environmental footprint. So whether it's private citizens, private or public corporations, as well as governments, are forcing action around sustainability, either through regulation or through incentives. So amid today's digital transformation, Schneider Electric is embracing those changes with all our partners, and together we can anticipate and deliver our client needs. So collaboration tools like we'll talk about with Schneider Electric Exchange, open architectures and solutions like EcoStruxure that bring IT and OT together to help meet the needs of energy efficiency. Now, meeting client needs in a fast-changing world, and that's what partnerships of the future really are all about. So providing partners, like some of the folks on here, with future-facing opportunities to pursue in this new electric world, driving collaboration and standard architectures to help these partners win more business, bringing native connectivity and intelligence to drive awareness and mitigate risks, and at the same time helping these partners simplify a very fragmented construction lifecycle, as we all know, all the way from design to build to operate.
Great, no, thank you. And it really, I think Rohan proves the point that partnerships of the future really is the way to drive digitization and innovation in the new electric world. Eugene, what trends are you witnessing relative to this new energy landscape? And maybe, over the last several months, how has COVID influenced your actions?
Thanks, Shanadeep. Well, I think first and foremost, I think in trends, as you can see now, instead of having seminars face-to-face, we are having seminars over Zoom. And I think just shy of a year ago, it's almost unheard of. If you talk to the client and say, "Can I have a Zoom meeting with you?" No, the client wants to see you face-to-face. So I think this a bit of COVID has actually brought is actually a catalyst in terms of digital adoption and technology adoption as well. So as what Lars has actually mentioned, we've moved on to BIM, and we moved on to the cloud computing, high performance cloud computing, and a lot of us actually acquire new skills and probably new roles. And working with partners like Schneider, you are actually looking at good energy management. So let me give you an example. If, for example, you are using your IoT sensors for energy. In the real world now, if we are using, if there's COVID, you are not. It's going to be very difficult to go back and check all your sensors remotely. But now, because it's all remote and to the cloud and to the backend systems, it's easily checked. And in the event, you can do preemptive management or preventive management and maintenance. So as what Rohan has actually mentioned, this actually pushed the industry very quickly into sustainability, into resiliency and notice of carbon. So I think project styles have changed, and also I guess clients are a little bit more demanding as well, because they know there's the adoption of digital and technology. Probably they want more for less, and that's what we are actually facing right now. Over to you, Shanadip.
Great. No, I just reflect on that. You know, how predictive and preventative actions can feed new level of client expectations and client demands, which, you know, ultimately can help design offices and others differentiate themselves. So great, really, really great points. Thank you. You know, unfortunately with COVID, I also reflect back on just simple things like going to the movies has been really hard. And I've been a huge fan of science fiction novels and Hollywood movies, and kind of recalling how the threat of AI takes over the world, like in Matrix or Terminator series. At least no robots are coming after us, but a study by McKinsey states that 70% of companies in the AEC industry who don't adapt to digitization will get left behind. And maybe I can go back over to Lars. Lars, can you tell us how you've incorporated digital solutions at Arup?
Yeah, we got a couple of examples, Shanadip, and one of them is that we've developed a software called Neuron, and it can help buildings to become more smarter and more sustainable and more cost efficient. Neuron is a 5G enabled app. Another light went on the conference room. Neuron is a 5G enabled app that integrates both operation and information technology into a single platform on a building management system. It gathers real-time data from equipment and systems using the BIM system to display data through the cloud-based centralized management console. Neuron's brain uses artificial intelligence and machine learning analysis, and it's a really cool development that we come across here. And there's one project specifically that I want to talk about that we have integrated this, and it's a building in Hong Kong that was completed in 2018. Actually, it's called the One Taiko Place, and it offers a really inspiring new environment for multinationals. Our journey with the project started in 2009, actually, already, where we carried out a feasibility study of this project. The building is the first commercial building in Hong Kong, so adoption of biodiesel for tri-generation system. The system turns biodiesel into electricity using recycled oil sourced from cooking from local restaurants. And this residual heat from the generator is fueled to provide hot water and serve absorption chillers for chilling water and generation in the building. And Arup implemented Neuron into the building and turning it into the city's first AI-enabled smart building. Apart from almost 25% energy savings that we managed to achieve through the advanced data analytics and machine learning capabilities and predictive maintenance, etc., Neuron has helped to create a better indoor environment that focus on health and well-being of occupants and deliver best value for the tenants in the building. And through the BIM-enabled asset management system, the platform can improve operation, workflows, and replace lots of manual processes via the digitization automation. And if anyone would like to know some more about this, I can always contact you. You can contact me or look at our website at arab.com and search for Neuron. Over to you, Sandeep, and I'm going to try to get the light back here.
You can log into your app and turn the lights back on. Well, hey, thanks, Lars. Very great story about One Taiku Place in Hong Kong and how the tri-generation system in AI helps really take it to a new level. Platforms like Roop's Neuron and Schneider's EcoStructure, I think, help enable IT and OT convergence in far more ways than we can even imagine today, and more efficient operations and lower maintenance costs. Eugene, let's go back over to you. Can you tell how Schneider has helped Shabana Technologies across the project lifecycle?
Sure. Well, in Schneider, to Shabana Jurong and Shabana Technologies, we take you guys as partners and specialists in your work, especially in the field of energy and platforms. So whether is it in a design stage where we work together and get feedback, early involvement with the vendors and our specialized partners, whether in a construction stage where we look at installation, or I think the most important is the operational state or the asset management stage, whereby we work together to see how we can look with lower carbon, have a more sustainable building, and I think the relationship, I must say, is pretty good. We have a key accounts manager in Singapore working with us, and he's on my back almost every other week and saying, let's do something together. So that sort of shall I say intimate relationship is very important. Now you spoke about Terminator, and I kind of like that because in Terminator you have this Skynet. We have our own Skynet as well, but she doesn't build robots to kill ourselves. Her name is 24K, and what she does is she's a platform of platforms. So she's a common data environment that ingests data. But most important is we are able to splice through the API management layer through the modules that Schneider can offer to us. So not only are you guys specialized in what you do, you offer help when it's actually needed, and your platforms are able to work and move into other platforms as well, especially now where we are looking into sustainability and carbon, and to look into things like plug loads or vampire loads in the building, where we are actually using your sensors to monitor the DB boards. So I think this is the plus points or the strength of working together with Schneider and having them as a partner. Over to you, Shanadip.
Very cool, and Eugene, thank you, and to also hear about your AI system as well. Let me now go back over to Rohan, and Rohan, we just heard about Eugene and Lars sharing some really great examples and experiences in their companies and with their customers. Maybe you could give us a view of how Schneider supports our partners with innovation and technology.
Sure. So, Shanadeep, we want to help our design partners position themselves as leaders as they bring new technologies into the world to address their client needs. I think we can all agree that there is no smart building without a smart design, and we owe it to our partners. So, number one, do you know that in a building, the initial construction only represents 25% of the cost of the building across its entire life cycle? In other words, 75% of the costs go into maintenance and operations. Through the convergence of IT and OT, we allow for smarter designs that do not cost more to build and commission while bringing substantial cost reduction to the operations. We have updated our designs to help our design firm partners to design right without over-specifying, while making sure their building is a smart one and improves the total cost of ownership for their customers. Two, by making those buildings smart and connected, we're opening the door of services to our partners. This makes it possible for our partner to expand their activity and services and get recurring business from them. So let's take an example. In a tropical climate, the air conditioning represents about 60% of the energy consumption in a building. When you add in technologies like solar and microgrids, where you can see the need for a facility manager to have an integrated view of their HVAC performance and the power management with, let's say, a DER. And you know what? We can do this today. So let me give you a couple of real-world use cases. So Hushenshan Hospital, a high-standard infectious disease facility occupying about 34,000 square meters, rose straight from the ground only about 10 days um, in China. And Schneider and the local Schneider Eco experts were part of the team that got it done. How do we get it done? We worked with the design offices and the partners with the environment. Power distribution, building management systems, HVAC systems, all were integrated. We can give healthcare providers and our partners in the industry reference architectures to enhance the effectiveness of their overall projects that are needing critical support and expertise. The second example involves just recently, last week, in the United States, we announced the partnership or the project with Montgomery County in Maryland. So their goal was to increase resilience, upgrade the electrical infrastructure, and enhance sustainability without upfront capital investment. So 4 parameters, all of them in the same project. The solution that the town came to was to install microgrids in 2 critical county facilities, ultimately choosing Schneider Electric as its partner. We also worked with our partners like Arup and with Alphastructure, which is our joint venture with Carlyle, in a energy as a service solution that was enabled together. And we can deliver an integrated energy and financial solution, custom tailored to our clients' needs. In these cases and in others, we offer our partners a unique advantage because Schneider Electric has both the building management systems to maintain, I'll call it the mechanical assets, like your HVAC, and also electrical distribution and control expertise to manage the increasingly sophisticated power distribution designs. At Schneider Electric, we are committed to play a positive role in this ecosystem. We are on to bring technology and business to our partners, not only right now, but in the future.
Awesome, thank you. And after listening to your example between the hospital in China, to the town in Maryland, to Lars talking about the building in Hong Kong, and then Eugene in Singapore, I see a lot of common threads here. And so, Rohan, I'm going to ask you to hold the microphone just a bit longer because I forgot to ask you about your views on how Schneider helps our partners across the project lifecycle. What are the new things that we can offer across that lifecycle?
Let's take a step back. When you look at the project lifecycle, the system is extremely siloed or stacked, you want to call it, and the traditional methods are inherently complex. So you look at the handoff between a design firm, with an architect, back to a contractor, and there is data shared and redone 5 times through this process, right? In parallel, we see the rise of BIM and digital twins that's accelerating and will be a massive game changer in the way design and build and operation is actually conducted. We at Schneider Electric are ready to play an open and proactive role and enable to infuse the best technologies to help the industry's efficiency, whether they're ours or somebody else's. And that's how I see open is to deliver the best available products and technologies to our partners. Our increasing software portfolio, which I'm sure you've heard of, is there to support our partners by advancing efficiency and accelerating the digital transformation. So we want to be part of that transformation with our partners in the AEC ecosystem. In addition to our own design tools like Fast Suite and other CAD plugins, we partner with software technology leaders, including ISVs like Alpi, ETAP, to increase the productivity, reduce rework loops, and increase the data sharing across the different organizations in this construction value chain. While encompassing the best technologies in the industry, including third-party offers to enable our partners to take the best design decisions that work for them. All of this together allows you to optimize your energy consumption, maintain a healthy and productive environment, to help you design faster, not only within your company, but across the project chain, and achieve a more sustainable design without compromising on cost and speed of deployment. We talked about software helps in design, but I want to share about how we engage with our partners. By creating a personalized, dedicated program for designers, consultants, and engineers, we're able to help them find the right technology solution in the service provider area of Exchange, integrate new technologies into end-to-end solutions and sell them in the marketplace, gain implementation know-how with latest reference designs in the shop, streamline and speed up projects with digital tools, and upskill their workforce. If you're curious about all these tools, as I mentioned, it's all available on the Schneider Electric Exchange.
Awesome, and really appreciate you mentioning all the software plays because that can really help reduce a lot of waste across the life cycle. And then thank you at the end for mentioning Schneider Electric Exchange because I'd like to go a little bit deeper. I'm actually reminded of a recent success story from our partners using Schneider Electric Exchange. And that story is about a company called Comfort Laboratory and its CEO, Alexander. Comfort Laboratory is an eco-expert partner based in Russia, performing a full range of work from project design to maintenance. Alexander and his team were looking for a smart connector extension that would act as a software bridge with our EcoStruxure building operation for facilities like hospitals and airports. Comfort Laboratory first raised a request on the building operation forum of the Schneider Electric Exchange and saw lots of interest on the topic. So this motivated Alexander to develop a smart connector solution and then publish it on the platform for exchange. In just a few short weeks, he sold the smart connectors in more than 20 countries, thanks to the Schneider Electric Exchange marketplace. There's a ton of information about this story, so please do check out the link below. And we can kind of deep dive a little bit more on Exchange. But Lars, after hearing that story and Rohan chat a little bit about Exchange, what would be your thoughts on the value of a digital community like Schneider Electric Exchange?
Yeah, for companies and individuals, engineers, to be able to move forward and to develop skills, I think you need to learn to share our experience. I find that many companies and even individuals are scared and a bit worried about losing their intellectual properties on design and innovations, to the point that they miss out on opportunities to learn and to develop. Of course, you have to protect the innovations, and that gives us the edge, but there are many ideas out there, and sometimes crazy ideas, that and unless we share these with others and collect feedback, they will never be developed. That's my view, really. Sharing ideas enables the growth, the mindset, and you'll find that you will enjoy the power when you start doing this. And we're here to learn from each other. We talked about earlier Sunday, we talked about innovators, and Thomas Edison is another one that is widely known, especially in the electrical industry. And he had a team of over 20 people, and he believed strongly in the power of collaboration. And I'm proud to say that Arup and Schneider have several projects ongoing where we exchange ideas and where Schneider can, for instance, present us with a problem and to be solved, and that comes from their global network, and Arabs, they will then get together with all our engineers and try to find a solution for you. So Exchange can provide an intuitive platform to access talent and all the latest information and support. And really looking forward to be part of this journey.
Awesome. No, thanks, Lars. And I hope all the audience here does get a chance to check out Exchange sometime during the day today. A few quick facts about Exchange. First off is that you can collaborate and connect with more than 54,000 peers, technology partners, and experts worldwide. You can access more than 10,000 knowledge-based articles. You can join more than 100 partner forums, just like the Alexander example where he was able to commercialize his offer. You can share advice about products and services and sell your solutions on the marketplace. So Eugene, what we heard from Lars as well as the Comfort Lab story, can you tell us about this platform and how it potentially could help a community of design engineers?
Sure, Shanadip. Well, there's a saying, we know what we know, and we do not know what we do not know. So I can see that this Exchange platform is like a knowledge management tool, and it's also a place like you can exchange ideas, and you are able to find like-minded people inside. I think the word is ecosystem. What you have actually done, or what Schneider has actually done, is to come up with an ecosystem for designers, for engineers, for collaborators to come in together and basically look for solutions that probably will save the world. And I think it's not only just on the articles that you see. There's 50,000 articles over there. I think it's more of the subject matter experts that are in this exchange that you are straight away have access to. So guys, this is not Facebook, this is not TikTok, this is a platform where you are able to have collaboration, solution, and exchange of knowledge and ideas. So I feel that this platform is really super, really good. And I commend Schneider for creating this exchange platform. Over to you, Schneider.
Well, thanks, Eugene, and great way to articulate it around being this digital ecosystem that adds value to design engineers. Okay, so Rohan, bring us home with some final thoughts on to Eugene's point about this digital ecosystem, about Exchange.
So first of all, Eugene, well said. I mean, frankly, you articulated it perfectly in terms of what the value is for a user. But let's take a step back. I think what we are trying to do is enable a system where, if you think about what used to be called a green premium just 2 or 3 years ago, today has become a brown discount. So what can we do to really enable, drive our partners and help them in this type of environment? So change is happening all around us, as I said, at an accelerated pace, and it will keep changing, and that creates a challenging environment. So our design engineers and consulting partners, they can increase their productivity with Exchange, with direct technical assistance and digital tools, access knowledge on demand, so reference designs, white papers, application guides, technical notes, and ongoing training opportunities, resolve issues with expert guidance by phone, email, real-time chat, complete projects on time and budget, which is really what they're trying to achieve there. And then we can play a proactive role to our partners, one who understands the need for having an ecosystem and having to team up with them. And the beauty of this to me is our partners are in the forefront and we are in a support role. And that's really how it should be for us to be able to successful as a team.
Awesome. No, I think that's fully true. And I'm looking at the time here. We have a little bit of time left, but time does run fast. And before we wrap up, I'm pleased that we do have some time left over for a Q&A. I've seen great questions in the chat throughout the session, lots of activity. And so please keep on announcing yourselves and sharing your stories too, if you can, in the chat. I think all of us would love to read it and see it. So please keep the chat active and fired up. So let me go back to Eugene on the first question that I'm seeing here. The question is, how are customers of the Electricity 4.0 revolution and all the possibilities, how aware are customers of the Electricity 4.0 revolution and all the possibilities that electrification and digitization offer?
No, I think for starters, some customers are aware of Electricity 4.0, but I feel that it's not really ingrained in some of the developers or customers or at least in Southeast Asia or Asia itself. I think there's still a lot to be done. I feel that this drive on Electricity 4.0 is very important because there's a touch of sustainability, resiliency, climate change in there, and that it will echo very well with the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Take Singapore, for example. We have a good lot of existing commercial buildings and retail buildings that are not green yet, and the first thing they say is it's going to be very expensive because there's no way to manage its electrical outputs like chillers and so on and so forth. Well, I believe that once they are made known that it's not that expensive. There is a cost, so it's not that expensive. The returns is much higher, and when we start moving into seriously into carbon tax, and then one will actually find that they'll be at the short end of the stick because they didn't start early in terms of getting themselves into this Electricity 4.0 movement. So if you ask me, I think there's knowledge, but sometimes there's a lot of NATO, no action, talk only. But they need to really focus into it, get an action plan, get a work plan into it, and probably work with partners like Schneider, like Lars and myself to see how we can push this agenda fully ahead and reap in the benefits not only on carbon, but you'll find that there are also economic benefits from that. Thank you, Schneider.
Totally, Eugene. I think we're at the start of this with things like carbon taxes, and this is the beginning of a much bigger, broader world that's changing.
That's right.
Looking at the questions here, our next question I'm going to give to Rohan. As partners can be based worldwide, how is Schneider Electric able to ensure a similar kind of support for partners to help us grow and lead?
Sure. So when it comes to you as a partner working with us, we believe that we are best in class with our local multinational company model, what we call as our global hub model. We're committed to teaming with you to ensure your success and the success of your customers, no matter where you're located. Our programs are designed to give you access to all the key features and support you locally so that you're up to date on global trends and events, but also you get the full view of what's going on globally. Our hubs are balanced between APAC, the Americas, and EMEA, and our footprint from R&D to supply chain is well distributed. So we are on the ground, aware of the codes and standards, what's the reference architectures, all the dynamics that are going on locally, but at the same time, we're able to go stitch these together to deliver global platforms. One example I'll give you is our partner communication model, for example, in China, where anybody who's lived in China, you know that WeChat is the most predominant common tool we use. So rather than try to have a different app or to force the conversation or the means of communication, our local teams have figured out a way to say we can use WeChat to really have that discussion that we can have as part of Exchange. And at the same time, we're able to take the reference architectures that are developed in China or other places in the world and really deploy those for other folks so that we have the best practices that we can share globally, but at the same time, we're not compromising quality and we're integrating our ways of working into the local ways of working, which I think is really powerful.
I agree. That is really powerful. Okay, looking at we have a few more questions popping up, but I'll leave this last question for Lars, and then we'll make sure that we answer the rest of the questions in the chat with our experts. Lars, kind of reflecting on just the world over the last year, what are the new ways of working that you've adopted due to the pandemic, and then maybe which of these do you think will be remain permanent in the way that we do business?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. It's been a really strange year this we have ahead of us. And what's going to happen in next year we don't really know yet, with cases going up and down all over the world. But the thing of working from home is that we have invited everyone into our own homes using Teams. There's a new environment altogether, kids' voices in the background and domestic sounds, and it's kind of providing a sense that there's another life in an engineer's world than just being an engineer. Another thing that we learned is that I think we have to trust each other in a different way. Everyone have to work with a minimum supervision. And I'm actually particularly proud of our new graduate engineers that came in last year from universities straight into the workforce, working from home, and they have adopted the working from home environment much better than many of us have actually done. So that's another thing that's been interesting. And I truly believe that the flexible working environment is here to stay. Before COVID, people were suspicious and said, so I'm going to work from home today. And okay. Even though it's perfect, even though I prefer to work from home from time to time, it's always good to be in the office with your colleagues and peers around you. I can see the benefits of working from home. And for one instance is that you see the commuting time that you do. That gives you an opportunity. Instead, you can either sleep a bit longer, or you can go up as usual and do some exercise, or just learn and read and learn something new. I think that's the things I want to take from this year.
No, totally. I mean, just getting ready for this webinar requires a lot more work than it would be if we were in the office.
Yeah.
There's actually a question that came in from Ray Khan in the chat, and it says, which country? And maybe Lars, I'll let you answer this one first, since you get to see a lot of it across the room. Which country has the most technologically advanced building infrastructure, and why? What can we learn from them?
Which country? I mean, if you want me, I can answer. I mean, I worked in many countries around the world, but I must say some of the forefront was not just Singapore, of course, is there up in the top, but I lived in the Middle East for many years, and the Internet of Things there started already in early early of this century, around 2000, where our first building we did there was, they were talking about intelligent fridges and having everything was going to be connected in those days. So which country is most technology advanced? That is very difficult to say. I think it all depends on the mindset of the company, the country itself. What are the expectations and where are they on the scale of things? It's some people are glad to have electricity on for more than 2 hours a day in the world, and some people are getting really upset if they got just a few minutes of electricity interruption a day. So it's not something that hasn't got really good answer or straight answer.
Yeah, got it. And I don't know, Rohan or Eugene, if you want to comment to that question.
No, I having lived in several areas of the world, what I would say is, usually it's a function of the local economics. So where there is scarcity, it really drives the innovation to drive the solution. So even the solutions that you might see in a developing market or now developed market might be very different than what you would see in a I'll call it in a more traditionally affluent part of the world. So to me, it's really, when you think about who is leading, I think the question is leading. How do you define leading? If you look at a lot of the, I'll say, South Asian countries, which are tropical in nature, like I gave the example, there is, like Lars mentioned, scarcity of power, and they have learned a way to figure out to really, with those and taking into account the advantage that they have, so-called with plenty of sun, they're able to go develop those technologies a lot faster and deploy them. In other places where I think about, like Tokyo, where there is a scarcity of land, I mean the buildings there really are quite advanced because they have to be, right? So I think it really is a function of what's the scarcity that has been created for the natural resources and how those local economies respond to take care of those.
Oh, no, thanks, Rohan. Appreciate that. A couple of other questions that have come in is one person is asking, is EcoStruxure truly open? And the answer is definitely yes. So I'll think that's a good quick answer for there, and you can learn more on SchneiderElectric.com. The one more question that we have is, what is the criteria to form partners with Schneider? And I'll take that one too, because that is, you can easily go and find that on Exchange. So I invite you all to go check out Schneider Electric Exchange, and you can go sign up to be a partner there. I believe it's in the top menu bar around how to become a partner. So, and I'm just looking for any other quick questions to answer, but we are coming close to the end of time. So I'd like to maybe just personally thank Eugene, Lars, and Rohan. Your amazing participation, and we also have an amazing audience here for all the energy that I've seen pop up the chat. It's incredible, and thanks to the several hundreds of you who have joined us live today. So here are my takeaways from the discussion. Number one, it's a big transformation, and it's happening, and it's due to Electricity 4.0. Number two, electrification and digitization are two huge factors enabling it, and we heard from all the examples that Rohan, Lars, and Eugene presented. And then three, digital collaboration platforms like Schneider Electric Exchange and new electrical design, build, operate software helps us all win in the new electric world. So to close, our message at Schneider is simple. It's our mission to be your digital partner for sustainability and efficiency for partnerships of the future. And I really hope you all saw and felt that today, and that we can continue this dialogue online in the forum and chats, as well as on Schneider Electric Exchange. We'll be seeing you in a few weeks to go deeper on the topics of buildings of the future. In the meantime, stick around to watch a demo of the Schneider Electric Exchange. Be sure to continue the conversation as well on the platform. So with that, I'll wish you all a happy day, afternoon, and evening. Thank you.
This is Schneider Electric Exchange, a bold, open business platform where experts and innovators solve everyday energy management and automation challenges every day. A place where efficiency and sustainability meet practicality and profitability. Here you can gain access to tools and resources to answer your own business challenges or solve someone else's. Speed up time to market with a little help from the experts, reach new partners, customers, and markets around the globe. Let's get technical for a sec. With Exchange, you can dig deep into a library of software solutions and design documentation to enrich projects, or play with developer resources like Schneider and third-party APIs, SDKs, and datasets. You can also tap the community for help, seek out service providers, developers, engineers and integrators, operations managers, and technologists, or harness the power of the crowd to answer challenges. Ask or advise through the forums, and find the right people to help scale your business. Then there's the marketplace. Breakthrough solutions need a home, a place to be found and sold. This is it. Open, accessible, and easy to browse. The marketplace is where bold ideas thrive. That's Schneider Electric Exchange. What are you waiting for?